The IMF says Asia's regional growth will hit 5.6% this year and 5.5% the next. Japan and the Republic of Korea's growth rates are now predicted to be higher than expected. India's growth has been revised downward over the short-term impacts of recent financial reforms. China's projected numbers have been boosted by recent stimulus policies, which have raised the level of public debt, an issue being discussed at this year's annual meetings of the IMF and World Bank.
That needs to come down over the medium term. We are not arguing for an immediate adjustment there, but in the fiscal in China, really the more important thing is the composition of spending and of tax policy. There is a lot of scope and need to use fiscal spending to rebalance the economy from investment towards consumption.
With China alone accounting for 34% of global growth, the IMF is optimistic about the prospects for the further internationalization of China's currency, following last year's inclusion of the renminbi in the basket of IMF currency reserves.
And also, more broadly, in the integration of the Chinese economy into the global financial system. This is very important for us as the process for making sure that China feels at home in the international monetary system and feels at home in the IMF.
The IMF says Asia is also being boosted because key export markets in Europe and the United States have been performing well. IMF economists are also encouraged by the prospects of increased inter-regional trade in Asia, which is creating new opportunities for Asia's rising middle class and spurring domestic consumption. Daniel Ryntjes, CGTN, Washington.